Are you looking to move to Portugal, thinking about moving to Portugal, wanting to move to Portugal? Well, the house that you buy is very unlikely to have a central heating system installed in it, and for a number of very good reasons, you may not want to invest in that either. In this video, you'll learn why the Portuguese don't have central heating systems in their homes, what they do use to heat their homes, and what options are available for you to heat your lovely new home here in Portugal. So you might be thinking, well, in winter, do you need heating in a home in Portugal? Well, here's a home in Portugal, my home. Let's go and have a look. It's 8:15 in the morning, mid-winter in Portugal. The outside temperature is -1.9. We have ice on the windscreen and a little bit on the side. Now let's go and check the temperatures in the house. Right, here we are in the kitchen. Now let's have a look at what temperature we've got. The temperature, it says in the kitchen, is 8.5 degrees. Okay, that's cold. Now we'll check the temperature. We'll go into the lounge and then check the temperature in my office. And we have a temperature of 14.5 degrees in the office. There, now that is cold. So yes, you need heating in a home in Portugal in the winter. But like I said, not everybody has that. So you might be thinking, serious? You get up to a cold house, Mac? No heating? Yep, that's right. And that's how all the Portuguese do it. I get up, get dressed, wrap up nice and warm, get myself a lovely warm coffee, and then I get on with my day. While you're active and moving around, you're not getting cold. About 4 o'clock, I light the fogao, ready for cooking and heating the kitchen. And then I go and light the salamander in the lounge, and that gets the lounge gorgeously warm for the rest of the evening. If you were thinking, why is there no central heating in homes in Portugal, because obviously the winter is cold, you'd be right to be thinking that. And obviously if I had central heating in my house, I'd be getting up to a lovely, cosy, warm home. And as we know, virtually every home in the UK has got central heating, normally with a combi boiler, so you've got heating and hot water on demand, totally programmable, and connected to the gas grid system. In the UK, I was a heating engineer. I installed central heating systems, installed boilers, serviced them, repaired them, both domestic and commercial. So I could easily put central heating in this house. And why don't the Portuguese put central heating in their house? I see 3 reasons why people don't have central heating in their homes in Portugal: infrastructure, supply and demand, and affordability. Portugal has got no gas grid system whatsoever. And why? Probably because it's too expensive to install and maintain. So a company like BP, for them to install a gas grid system and then connect it to every home would be a mammoth undertaking, costing billions of dollars. So it would have to be very viable and worthwhile. However, Porto and Lisboa have got natural gas. I'm not sure about Coimbra, but the reason those 2 major cities have got natural gas is because they're on the coast and they've got ports. So how does the gas get there? By ship. Which brings us to the second reason, supply and demand. The population of the UK is 69 million, so for argument's sake, 70 million. Here in Portugal, 10.6 million. That's a difference of 58.4 million people. That's a big difference. That says to me that there's a supply and demand issue. Simply put, not enough people equating to not enough households. In the UK, the number of households is 29.9 million. So again, for argument's sake, 30 million. Here in Portugal, just over 4 million. That's a massive difference of 26 million households. I'm guessing That's why there isn't a gas infrastructure, because there's low demand because of the small number of households. Which brings us to affordability. The Portuguese simply do not have enough disposable income to be able to afford the installation of a central heating system, let alone be able to run it and maintain it. My next video is actually going to be about Portuguese earnings and disposable income, so stay tuned for that one. I bet your next question is, well, how do the Portuguese heat their homes in the winter? This is where you're going to get a shock. First of all, let's look at what I've got, how I heat my home, and then we'll compare that to what the Portuguese have. I'll show you what appliances I've got and where they're located. Up in the corner there you can see an AC unit which provides hot and cold air, and this is what I call my summer bedroom. In the summer when it's really hot, I turn on the cold air, which means I get a really good night's sleep. In the kitchen we have a fogão, which is a wood burning stove. It allows me to cook, and it also really belts the heat out. That means that it heats the kitchen up fantastic, and then the heat spills out into the hallway. Now we come to my winter bathroom, and up in the corner again there is an AC unit, and that means that I can warm the bathroom up lovely for when I have a shower. Now we come to the lounge where there are two appliances, the main one being the salamander, the wood burner. It's a 10 kilowatt heater, and it heats this lounge up fantastic, and the heat spills off into my office and what I call my winter bedroom. There's also an AC unit for when it's mild and I only want a little bit of heat. The only other room with heating is a bedroom, and that's got a portable AC unit, obviously providing hot and cool air. To see a full tour of my house and home, click the link up there. Okay, that's the heating I've got in my home, and yes, I can afford it, but the majority of Portuguese people have no heating in their home whatsoever, and that is the truth. I've lived here in Portugal for 7 years, so I've seen it for real. I know of a son and mum who live in Lisboa in an apartment. Mum works in the kitchens in a hotel, son is 17 and goes to school. So during the day they're active and thus keeping warm, but in the evenings in their small lounge while they're watching TV, they're sitting there with coats on and 2 pairs of socks. When it comes to bedtime, it's pyjamas, jumper and 2 pairs of socks, and when it gets really cold, mum and son sleep in the same bed. Yup, for real. I also know of a family who live in Porto in a 3-bedroom house. No heating in that home whatsoever. I personally know a lady who lives in a 3-bedroom house in Porto, works full-time for the national minimum wage, has no heating in the house whatsoever, and when it's really cold, she uses one of these little convector heaters just for 10 minutes to take the chill off the bedroom before she goes to sleep. And why? The simple truth is, they can't afford it. In the countryside it seems a little bit different. More people seem to have a fogão, and that's one of the reasons I installed my fogão, because I saw how brilliant they are at 1, cooking, and 2, heating the place. But if a family have got a good income, they're able to afford a wood burner, but again, no heating in the bedrooms. Bit of an eye-opener, isn't it? So if you're thinking of moving to Portugal, want to move to Portugal, don't let this put you off. It's a different way of life, and I've got used to it, and there are definitely things you can do to make yourself nice and warm and cosy and comfortable, like what I've done. The climate here in Portugal is, for example, very different to the UK. Obviously the summers are hotter and much longer, but the winters are not so bitter and biting cold. It's totally different, and if you have a look at this video, you'll see the difference between the 2 winters. I hope this encourages you to make the move to Portugal, because I certainly have no regrets whatsoever. So if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments down below and I'll get back to you. And I hope to see you in the next video, and I also hope to see you here in Portugal. Take care, bye for now.